Good evening. It's always a pleasure to be in your company. I'm Joy Gosses. Leading the news this evening, the SWAPO Party Youth League in the Kavango East region on Monday re-elected Anselm Murungu as its regional secretary during an ordinary elective conference held at Rundu. Our correspondent in the two regions filed the story.
The elective conference, which started on Sunday, elected new office bearers who will serve in various positions. Bibiana Shapi was elected as the regional mobilizer, while Ronan Chamba will serve as the regional treasurer. Delegates to the conference also elected additional members as well as candidates to the Central Committee. Marungu told this news agency he was unchallenged and felt good that the youth of the region continue to trust his leadership. He said youth unemployment is still a challenge in the region and will top the agenda as they try to find practical solutions to the problem.
On to a story with a positive spin for the tourism sector. The Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Pohamba Shifeta, has announced that the number of tourists entering Namibia increased to 270,644 in 2021, representing a significant increase of 40.9% from the previous year.
Speaking at the launch of the 2021 Annual Tourist Arrival Statistical Report here Monday, Shifeta said tourist arrivals increased substantially from 192,026,000 in 2020 to 270,644 in 2021. This growth, he said, is commendable considering the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the tourism sector globally in 2020 and 2021. He noted, although the number of tourist arrivals is not at the level it was before the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019, an increase such as this gives Namibia improved hope that the sector is on its way to recovery. Shifeta indicated that the African tourist resource markets in 2021 were dominated by arrivals from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, whilst Germany, France, Switzerland, the United States of America and the United Kingdom made up the top 5 overseas tourist markets.
South Africa on Monday said it had formally filed a request with the United Arab Emirates to extradite the two Gupta brothers accused of orchestrating industrial-scale corruption in the country. Selima Shimafeleni, Masiba reports.
Business tycoons Atul and Rajesh Gupta were held in Dubai last month on suspicion of fraud and money laundering. They are alleged to have colluded with former President Jacob Zuma to siphon off state assets from Africa's most advanced economy. Justice Minister Roland Lamola told a press conference they can confirm that the extradition request has been duly submitted to the United Arab Emirates Authority. The request is the first step in a process that experts have warned could take years. South Africa's case centers on an alleged 25 million rand, about $1.6 million fraud linked to an agricultural feasibility study, small fry compared to the scale of other allegations facing the family. Lamola said the alleged study scam is headed for South Africa's High Court with a provisional trial date set for January 2023. The ultra-wealthy brothers ran a sprawling family business empire in South Africa for more than 2 decades after migrating from India. Their arrests followed the inking of an extradition treaty between Pretoria and the United Arab Emirates.
Pope Francis on Monday apologized for the evil inflicted on the indigenous peoples of Canada on the first day of a visit focused on addressing decades of abuse at Catholic-run residential schools.
The plea for forgiveness from the leader of the world's 1.3 billion Catholics was met with applause by a crowd of First Nations, Métis and Inuit people in Maskwacis in western Alberta province, some of whom were taken from their families as children in what has been branded as a cultural genocide. I am sorry, said the 85-year-old pontiff, who remained seated as he delivered his address at the site of one of the largest Canada's infamous residential schools, where Indigenous children were sent as part of a policy of forced assimilation. I humbly beg for forgiveness for all the evil committed by so many Christians against the Indigenous peoples, said the Pope, citing cultural destruction and the physical, verbal, psychological and spiritual abuse of children over the course of decades. Francis spoke his deep sense of pain and remorse as he formally acknowledged that many members of the church had cooperated in the abusive system. After a mass before tens of thousands of faithful in Edmonton on Tuesday, Francis will head northwest to an important pilgrimage site, the Lac St. Anne.
When we return, Minister of Industrialization and Trade says supply chain constraints provide local capacity opportunity. Leading the primetime bus segment, Minister of Industrialization and Trade, Lucia Ipumbu, says supply chain constraints present Namibia with an opportunity to boost its local capacity and self-reliance, given the price escalations and product shortages. Shalva Wells compiled this insert.
Ipumbu made these remarks recently at the launch of a baked bean in tomato sauce product by African Deli, an entirely Namibian-owned manufacturing company that specializes in ready-to-eat processed foods. The new product joins African Deli's Heat and Eat product line. The minister stated that this is a positive step for the country in terms of food security and promoting local business initiatives and domestic investments, which may lead to business integration and exports. He said the initiative is consistent with his ministry's Buy Local, Grow Local Namibia campaign, which aims to increase local consumption of goods and services such as those produced by African Deli. Ipumbu said the campaign will raise awareness about the importance of purchasing Namibia's proudly manufactured goods and services, as well as educate consumers about the economic and social benefits that local businesses bring to a community.
Meanwhile, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Monday said the country will open up to private investments to establish a competitive electricity market as he outlined sweeping plans to deal with the prolonged energy crisis.
Ramaphosa said the government will accelerate the procurement of new capacity from renewables, gas and battery storage, and remove a licensing threshold for private power generation projects. He added this will enable private investment in electricity generation to rise to higher levels. Ramaphosa said in a televised press briefing, the ultimate objective is to achieve long-term energy security so that we never have to experience an electricity shortage again. Power cuts are a major source of frustration in the country, and Ramaphosa has been under pressure to address blackouts that have been costing Africa's most industrialized economy millions of dollars a day. Ramaphosa said Belgrade public entity firm Eskom, which generates more than 90% of the country's energy, will increase the budget for critical maintenance and add new capacity to the grid on an urgent basis. He said this will include buying energy from mines, paper mills, shopping centers, and other private entities that have their own generators, as well as from neighboring countries such as Botswana and Zambia.
The Economics Roundup is up next, followed by the weather forecast. tonight on Sport Planet. Robert Lewandowski has made a strong first impression at Barcelona, with manager Xavi calling him an unbelievable signing. Lewandowski made his first appearance for his new club in their 1-0 friendly win against Real Madrid on Saturday, starting up top before being subbed off at halftime. The 2021 Ballon d'Or runner-up is coming off 7 consecutive seasons of at least 40 goals in club competition, with Barcelona hoping he is still at the peak of his powers, despite turning 34 years old next month. Meanwhile, Xavi acknowledged a return for Lionel Messi is impossible at present, but refused to rule out a reunion in future, as he rejected comparisons between himself and 2 legendary Barcelona coaches. Messi's 21-year association with Barcelona came to an end last August when he joined Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer amid the Catalan club's financial woes. However, the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner's 6 league goals during his debut campaign in Paris represented his worst such tally since he netted the same amount in La Liga as an 18-year-old in 2005-2006. Stay tuned for the Sports Roundup. That's where we leave it for tonight. Many thanks for watching. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share and press the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Do join us tomorrow for another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Joy Gosses, and the entire production crew, it's good night.